Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode. I'm your host, Stephen G. Gaxiola, and you are listening to The Raider and the Saint. And we are live. This is episode 66. Once again, I am your host, Stephen G. Gaxiola. And yes, this is the Raider and the Saint podcast. Today's date is February 6th. The year is 2021. The location, I'm back at the studio. I'm back at the bunker, a.k.a. the lab. Once again, with another powerful interview that I'm looking forward to. But before we get to my guest today, I want to thank my past guest, Mr. Phil Rivera. It was an honor, sir, to have you on the podcast. Congratulations on making it to Shop Steward. I look forward to seeing you in the studio again. Once again, it was an honor, man, and congratulations. And, a shout out to his new business, him and Tammy, his wife, had just purchased. The company is called TAARCH Graphics. That's TAARCH Graphics.com. Whatever you guys need, they should be able to fulfill if it has anything to do with posters or graphics, stickers, or stuff like that. I'm actually going to use them when I start passing out stickers for the podcast. So I want to give a big shout out to them. It was an awesome time having them here. And I want to give a shout out to my video producer, Mario, for doing a great job and posting good content. I know we're having some bugs we're working out, but we will be working on those things as we grow as a podcast. So, like I do every podcast, I get right to it. My guest today is a new friend of mine. He goes by the name of Jerry. He is an OIF veteran. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's how you say it.
He grew up in Houston
Houston.
and was in the Army. So I got him here today because through a customer of mine said he's a very interesting man. And so I talked to you before the podcast, said everything's just storytelling. We're just hanging out, man. So once again, Jerry, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm all right. Happy to be here.
Thanks, man. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Raised in a blue-collar Hispanic family, Father was in the military family. Raised in church, altar boy for like 5 years, go to the CCE and the whole Hispanic Catholic thing. And then, I had a falling out in school and dropped out, but I still got in the Army still. So that's about me, man. So that's a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, that's how I started.
I mean, kind of like me, too. I grew up in the church, didn't join the military. I went to college, graduated. But joining the military was an option. It was up there.
Yeah. And
you're 38, I'm 40, now we're here.
Yeah,
Talk a little bit about the Army, man. What'd you do in there?
I mean, I was a reconnaissance. So you think of you got the infantry. They're like the people on the front line all the time. You think of the tanks being there. So it goes tanks, infantry, then you have cavalry, reconnaissance. And those are the guys out there giving you all the information that you need. So the commander can have a very good picture of the battlefield. So you have your scouts out there sneaking around, hiding in bushes, that type of stuff. And then when the order's given, you either start a fight, you go pick a fight pretty much, and then you sit there and you just look at them. That's all right. I mean, it was all right for the fact that I was in a vehicle and some guys were on foot. So it was kind of easier for me because I was extremely lazy and I don't like to walk. So I was on a like a little small tank, and I got to be on that stuff. So I'm really happy to say I was on the tank because I'll never get to do this shit like that.
Dude, that's just badass.
I'll never get to blow up anything up ever again in my life, or run over a car.
Did you ever get to shoot it, put the big old bullets?
They're about the size of a beer bottle.
Oh, okay.
So the size of a beer bottle, so it shoots those like 200 rounds per minute. Dang. Give or take about 50, depending on the barrel, right? So you could just lob rounds, armor piercing, high. It's like the video, like Call of Duty, man. Like you ever play those video games where you could shoot stuff with a cannon,
Mm-hmm.
and you like a missile flies out and you
Mhm.
blow it up a tank. It's just like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie, I had a great time.
Man, how does that affect your hearing? You guys got some good earmuffs on?
Yeah, like when I said like this, I thought couldn't hear again
Uh-huh.
because it's so loud. Excuse me, it's so
You're
loud
good.
in there. So yeah, but it was pretty cool, man. Like I'll never get to do that shit again.
Did you ever see any action?
Yeah, I went over there 3 times.
Yeah,
man.
where'd you go? Where'd you serve?
Iraq. That's the
Iraq.
OIF. It's Iraqi Operation Iraqi Freedom. OIF.
Oh, that's what OIF means.
Yeah,
Dang. So how old were you? 20?
21.
21.
I just got out of jail. Just got out of jail and they let me in.
Wow.
You could have 3 felonies and get in the army at that point.
Really? What's the rules now?
You can't have nothing. You have to be squeaky clean. Pretty much. Like you can have traffic tickets,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it. Like other than that,
It's like
man,
trying to become a cop then. Now.
pretty much. It's like trying to get into a nice good college, man. You got to sell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then after I did that for several years, I was a recruiter. So then I became a used
So
car.
you were a recruiter too, huh?
Yeah. So I could tell you anything you want to know about the army.
Oh, okay.
As far as putting your kid in the army, you know, we don't lie to them. We don't. I told them all the truth. And that's what
Mhm.
kind of scared a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of parents appreciated that you got
Mhm.
the absolute truth from me. They would ask me, "You think my kid's gonna die over there?" I was like, "I don't know. As long as your kid pays attention to his the people in training
Mm-hmm.
and the people like his senior leaders,
Mm-hmm.
he'll be all right."
Mm-hmm.
Because I went 3 times and I came back. I went there as a dumb private. You want to call it like a dumb private,
Mm-hmm.
and as a senior commissioned officer.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you just pay attention and you got stick with your training, you'll be all right. There's unfortunate effects though, man. People do get hurt. So,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as that, I kind of just told the parents straight up. And if they didn't like it, I was sorry, but I was telling them the truth because I wasn't going to sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because if everybody could do it, everybody'd be in the army.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Mm-hmm.
just like college, like
Which is the tough one out of all of them? I mean, I heard the Navy. A lot of girls I know enroll in the Navy.
in the army, you can do a lot more. The Marines, they're very strict on their tactics and what they do. You know, I mean, as far as like tough, I think everyone can be tough. It depends on the person. Usually, the recruiters will recruit in their own image.
Mm-hmm.
So like me, I went from kids from my neighborhood, little
Mm-hmm.
little hardheads that you needed some
Mhm.
direction. But it all depends on the recruiter and what they're tending to the kids' needs. So like if I knew the kid wouldn't make it in the army, I'd be like, you know what, try the Navy. It might be better suited for that.
Yeah.
Or try the Air Force. But as far as being hard as basic training, it's Marines and the Army. They're both the same.
Out of all of them, what made you choose the Army?
It was the first door on the left, man. And plus my dad was military. They're all Army.
Okay.
I really didn't care, honestly. I just wanted to get in the military. It happened right after 9/11, so I was kind of like patriotic,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I tried to get in like prior to that, and they had a waiting list after 9/11, a
Mhm.
2-year waiting list. Plus, I was a high school dropout, so I had to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
So
One of the questions that I want to ask, I mean, I've talked about it plenty of times with other people, is the psychological part, the mental part of being in the Army or any other Navy and seeing, some things happen. I had a coworker of mine, and he got an early retirement because he suffered from, mental disease or whatever they're called, PTSD.
Yeah,
How big is that amongst the
it's
military?
it's a real thing. It's a real thing. A lot of kids, like I talk to them like they're kids. They're still, but no, a lot of people get it. It can be from something just something small, traumatic, like a vehicle rolling over, or to a tire popping, and it causes a cascade of effects, and it scares everybody. Anybody can get anything from PTSD. Anybody can get PTSD from anything.
Mhm.
But as far as people in the Army, when it's concerned with like suicide and all that type of stuff, it's a real thing. It's not no joke. Like I've had.
I wonder what the percentage is.
Honestly, I don't know. I know one dies every 10 minutes or something like that from suicide.
And they said with COVID now, the suicide rate has gone up.
Like, see, I don't know that. Like, I've been out the Army.
I've had a couple of people on the show that said that because of COVID, it went through the roof.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, especially for those soldiers, they can't even to get yelled at all day and then have to go, and deal with it being secluded. You go from being social with your peers to locked away in your room. I bet it's horrible. especially for guys who got out too. You know,
Do we have the proper? You think we have the proper medical
we do.
program set to help
I-
people?
we do. It's a lot of it has to do with pride, I think, and a lot of it
Yeah.
has to do with being real macho about it. I don't want to talk about it, but that you learn though
Mhm.
that it's better to speak about it before you're pissing in your bed at 60 years old and you can't figure out why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some music came on or you heard like something outside loud.
Mhm, mhm.
So I mean, I think it's better to learn to talk about it, and if it's easier to talk about it when you're with other vets because you can kind of
Mhm.
relate. You know what I mean? It kind of
Mhm.
helps each other. We help each other.
Mhm.
So I think we have the care. Just a lot of people don't use it. Like me, I don't need the help if I don't think I do, but I've
Mhm.
had it, so it works.
Mhm.
Talking about it,
Well, I mean, PTSD doesn't just go and
it doesn't go away.
I mean, it doesn't go away, but it's not just in the Army. We get
Yeah,
PTSD
you get it from
from
anything.
a childhood event that
Car
went
wreck.
through a car wreck.
Yeah,
Uh,
gunshot. Somebody just
Yeah,
playing with a gun, and it can scare the shit out of them for life.
Mhm.
And that's
pull a gun on someone.
That's PTSD, man.
Harass. I mean, even bullying.
Anything that's traumatic will get you.
But it's good. You're saying it's good to talk about it, and that's
I
one thing
have
about
to.
me. I've changed because of therapy.
Yeah.
I've changed because I was able to go and sit in a room with the doctor and express my deepest, darkest feelings. Whether it's you want to harm yourself or nothing's going right in your life, so you're just depressed, go through depression. There's so many different things and forms, and I've learned to be able to go out. Like, just podcast is great for me. I get to come in every week and meet new people and talk with new people and get to learn from them. And the thing I've learned is to be open and express, like, hey, man, like, how do you feel today? One of my buddies here is a video producer. We talk a lot. We say, hey, what's going on today? Oh, well, this and that. And we talk through it. We encourage each other. But when you just hold things in and then you not say anything, then, I mean, look, I've held things in and exploded.
I think we're all just very sociable creatures, and if we don't have interaction with people, just to even common voice, just to talk to each other, I think it would just kill you inside.
I think and that's why it causes what happened
causes
with
the
suicide.
the more of effect of like depression. So
Mhm.
with depression on top of that and all this, I'm pretty sure it's very.
I think with the mask too, it made things a lot clearer what we're talking about here, because what happened when we put the mask on, for me as a driver, where I have to talk with my customers, there's no more talking.
Yeah, I always wonder like how like recruiting people. I just got out of recruiting a couple
Mhm.
of about 6 years ago, something like that. So,
Mhm.
I always think about how is it now with wearing that thing everywhere, and having to relate and really can't look at your soldier or the recruit. Like
Yeah.
with this mask, like
You just see
I
the
don't
eyes.
I don't know what I don't know what's going on behind that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure with you're a UPS driver.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm a driver that works for a company that
Oh, yeah,
delivers
yeah.
packages.
Yeah, my bad.
No, we're good,
My
dude.
bad, dude.
I just learned that. I know for a long, but if it slips, it slips. It's
My bad.
It's not like it's going. My
I used to
video's
be,
gonna go viral.
I used to be a delivery driver too for an international one.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So
Were they yellow?
they were yellow.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were.
How'd you like that?
It was. No, I wasn't a driver.
Oh, you just worked in the hub.
I worked in the hub.
Okay.
The receiving and the picking and all that. So I do remember that. It was pretty cool.
Mm.
When they got bought out, that's when I was there. So
Yeah, I heard they had to leave because they were a foreign company, and like the rules that we had amongst deliveries, they ended up having to like downgrade and do something.
yeah, I don't
It
know.
was years ago.
Yeah. This was like prior me joining the military. I worked at that company, and they got bought out by the previous company. Got bought out by the red and yellows. That's what I call it, because they gave us those uniforms. I was like, oh my god, this is horrible.
Red and yellow. Red and yellow.
Like, this is the most horrible uniform ever. But yeah, they got bought out, and they had weird, like, you could leave packages on the side on the road or side of the like on the front of their house, and then some people would say it got stolen and just pocket it.
Oh yeah, they do that.
They do that now.
Oh, they do that a lot still.
They still do?
But everything's digital now. Everything's
Yeah.
scanned. It knows when you're at the house, and I mean, we're not on Amazon. We don't take pictures yet, but once we deliver it, it shows. Like, Google Maps has gotten so good that when they send it to you, where they say, "Hey, this person's saying they get in their package," there's literally a dot. Yeah, there's a little dot. Like,
Yeah, they got it.
It's either
Because I remember, like, because this is before like GPS, so everybody had key maps. You bust out that red,
Oh yeah,
that orange book with the key map.
I think it was a Map Quest.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh no, the Thomas guides.
The key maps, like they were red, and you open up and they had every section of every city.
Oh, I don't think I had them that. I had the Thomas guide, where you flip it wherever you want to go, the freeway, and every street.
Yeah,
But I don't think it was red.
This was a long time ago. This is like 2099. This is like
Huh.
2001 type stuff.
I know MapQuest was
It was
big
called.
one.
They were key maps, man. They're like orange, and you open them up, and they're like a map of the whole city grid and the turns and everything. It was pretty cool. I had a friend that drove because I wasn't old enough to drive yet. So
They started coming out with systems that these young drivers are trying to do where you can do a trip, like going, like if you type in and you get in your car, if you got a newer car, you can type in where you want to go, and then the car is going to tell you where to go. Well, there was an app that somebody had, or some young kids were doing, and they were putting every stop in their board in the phone, and so the phone would tell them every stop to go to. I said, man, just look up and look at the address.
yeah,
Now we have this thing called they call it a cradle, but you can put your board in there, and what stop you click on is going to take you to the stop, literally, like right up to the front.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But I remember Thomas guides. I remember we had to get a Thomas guide, laminate it.
I think it's probably a Thomas guide. Like you open it up and it's
Yeah, it has you would mark every, you would look, like, oh, okay, make a right, make a left, and you got to picture the street, because some streets are like this, or these are mobile homes because they're like this, and so you look and you go, oh, I think it, and you show up, oh, it is a motor home and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Now I mean I've been driving for so long, I don't need a map. You give me any box, I know where that's at.
Yeah, yeah.
But that took a long time to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I don't know where it's at, I will look it on my phone, and then it'll show me. I go, oh, I know where it's at. Shut my phone off and then go over there.
Yeah.
But other than that, like it just takes time to learn your surroundings.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
How did they teach that in the Army?
Just learn, man. Just comes with it. Like you just learn off looking at maps. How to look at grid.
Yeah, because you're in a foreign country.
Well, they teach you. You have so they have like a computer screen like yours, and it's just like when you turn on your Google map and you hit imagery on it, like it has terrain and like what's it called, traffic.
Yeah.
How you see it, how they have the lines come out, or you'll show like the greenery or the whatever. Well, they have this imagery, and it's usually it's exactly like that. It's like a GPS, and you kind of just do it from there, or you just go off a map. You take a map out, you find your grids, all these like 6 digits, 10-digit numbers, and you kind of just find your way like that. It was pretty easy. I ain't gonna lie. Like I still know how to get in certain places in Iraq. Like you send me over there, I can drive to a certain place over there because I remember it because we've been over there so many times.
How superior is our technology compared to over there?
To what country?
Pick one.
I don't know, man. Like I've been out the military for
You'd
a
be
long
like,
time,
oh,
but
shit.
I can tell you this: we still use a lot of old equipment. Both everybody still does. Everything from the Cold War we tend to still use in other countries. A lot of countries buy up all that Russian tech. You know what I mean? So they still have that surplus. You can go buy a tank in Russia, for X if you got the money for it, and a helicopter, with missiles and stuff if you got the money for it. So I'm pretty sure.
Did you ever watch that one movie with what's his name? Nicolas Cage. War. What was it? Warlord.
Yeah, Warlord. Yeah. It's just like that. Like you go to those countries and you see that they're running around with Russian technology, Russian vehicles, and Russian things. Because once you get it, you can build it your own. But as far as our technology, I think we have the best trained soldiers and the best equipment we could have with what we have.
What would you rather have, an AK or an AR?
They both work fine. They really do. Like the only difference is one's gonna be heavier.
I like to shoot. That's why I asked.
I mean, if I had it my way, I'd have a AR set up with a 308 setup.
Oh yeah, 308.
With 308 set up on the M16 platform, because it's all about how much ammo you can hold, man.
Yeah. I've built my own gun, and I've shot both, and the one I built, I'm pretty impressed with. I like the way it sounds, I like the way it shoots. But I got an old, I got not an old AK, but I got something,
They'll last forever, man.
Dude,
I've seen them rusted out, like disgusting
And
rusted.
they'll still shoot.
And this dude comes, you just go over there and you kick down
Mm.
the slide, and it just and just it fires, man. Like those things will never go bad on you, man. And everything is pretty easy. It's only like 4 basic components
Mm-hmm.
to AK. It's the receiver, the slide, and the spring. That's about it.
Yeah.
A piece of wood that don't even
Piece
make
of
sense.
wood.
A piece of wood that doesn't make sense being there. But as far as like if I went over there with something, it'd be something like that, the bigger round, you know, just because I think heavier round would just be a lot better.
308. It's so hard to get bullets now. I was gonna build a 308.
I haven't. I stopped shooting.
It was one of my things I wanted. It was on one of my lists, and I could still do it. I just don't want to pay an arm and a leg for it
ammo.
now. Yeah, ammo is hard to get. Like you got to order it now. You can't.
Really?
You used to be able to go into Walmart and get ammo.
I
Now
remember.
you can't.
I remember going in like you have Academy over here. No, like a sports goods place, and buy like 200 rounds of 22, and now you can only buy like 50 rounds or 100 rounds at a time now. That's what I was in Texas, because they were limiting the ammo on the 22 round.
How bad is it over there? Oh, you haven't been over there. When's the last time you were in Houston?
I mean, I've been in Arizona for about a year, so it's been a year since I've been in Houston.
Okay.
It's bad over there, man. I think it is, with it being a hub, you know what I mean, for airport, and like it's a main city, so it gets bad over there. I think it does. It's worse now than I've ever seen it.
You think it's worse than over here in LA?
Do
you guys take a trip or anything? Do you guys go down to Venice and
We did the last time.
see it? I mean, you know,
like I said, like LA and Houston, they look the same as far as like downtown part. Like you go there, it just looks like,
starting to look like TJ.
like yeah, it looks bad. You know, like there's people sleeping everywhere on the side. We just walked over here and there was poop on the ground,
Oh yeah, no.
like a big old piece of poop, and it was like there. And I was like, man, somebody had a lot of chicken or something, man. It was like,
Yeah, where I deliver, I'm borderline Costa Mesa, South Coast Plaza, and man, we call them Scante Warriors, and these dudes they're just nuts. They're just running around. I mean, I seen shit where the guy had his pants down, the other dude was like looking in his butt, you know, like eating his butt. I don't know what he was doing. I've seen guys with like 7 pairs of pants on with a laptop behind TJ Maxx. I'm like, what is he doing? He's sitting there typing away like he's Doogie Howser, dude. It's like I'm like, it's a constant show, but it's sad. I walked by him up the stairs, and they're smoking the pookie. They're right there, dude, with the foil and their straw, and they're cooking it up, and they're doing it right in front of me. What's up, bro? And I just go, what's up, man? What's going on, man? What's up, big time? You know, because, you know, to them it's, you know, I don't know what they see in their minds, you know, but they, you know, they're not violent, you know. It's just when they start withdrawing and then they start getting to the point where they're hungry. Like I've seen the guy steal food from me out of McDonald's. Like I was getting one of those breakfast sandwiches, and the guy goes, "Hey, you know, can you give me some food?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna get you no food because I know you spend money on drugs."
yeah.
I said, "No," I go, I don't have money, and they put my food up, my order, and he grabs it and walks out. And the guy's weighing like 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Soaking wet. And I wanted to just not, you know what I mean? Just give him a shoulder, you know, hit. But I had to let him walk by, you know? It's like, I mean, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, like I remember going downtown Houston, and it's bad out there. People sleep on. I mean, they were doing crack on the road one day.
But a lot of them
and the cops were like not doing nothing about it.
Like, I've talked to people who work within the cities and stuff. They said, we have programs. We have things. They don't want to be constructed. They want to be able to do what they want to do.
And live
and
life.
and live that life. It's not that we don't have the help.
Yeah.
It's just they don't want it. So I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the proper solution. If you don't want help, you don't want help.
Yeah.
But the help's there.
Yeah. Yeah. The help is there.
I don't know. Just build a city and put them all in there.
I don't know. Like that's a question I can't really answer because
Never thought about it. I think about it. You know,
you see a lot of people go. You see a lot of people go through rehab and it don't work, and they spend all that money. Their insurance spends all that money on it, and it don't work, and they're still doing it. Or that it does work. You know, it's just it's all. I think it's all about the person. If they're just willing, eventually you're gonna have to stop. It's gonna kill you. One of the two.
Oh yeah.
And one of the two. Like I knew a guy in Arizona. He was shooting up dope, and he got a gangrene infection from here all the way up his arm, man. And I was like, Mike. He's like, you all right? You better now? I was like, yeah, man, I did that, and that. And I was like, eventually you're gonna have to stop, man. It's gonna kill you.
Oh man.
Like it's gonna kill you. You're gonna either lose everything or you're gonna stop, or it's gonna kill you.
No, I see them right there. They shoot up in front of me, bleeding. One dude's whole leg, he looked like he had elephantitis.
Yeah.
It was swollen like this big, and his other leg was like this.
Yeah.
And he's walking like no big deal. I'm like, holy smoke, blood's pouring down from his. He's
Yeah.
trying to bandage it up, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? And what's going on with you guys? Like, when are you gonna wake up and look down and go, damn?
It's like I had a friend. He lost a toe, man. Like he got he was, I guess, diabetic, and he was shooting up with his leg, or I don't know, man. He lost a toe, big toe.
Damn.
Now he's on a cane. He's younger than both of us.
Damn. Yeah, I had a buddy of mine. He had drinking himself to death. He drank a lot, and he got liver, the cirrhosis of the liver.
Cirrhosis of the liver, yeah.
And man, he was like 24.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember burying. I was young. I was 24. I was like, holy smoke. Like, this is it, man. We're like in the Matrix or something, you know? What about politics? You follow politics at all?
I'm all about who's ever for the army. So if you support the army and the, gearing up and
Support the troops.
yeah, that's all that matters. I don't care who you are, as long as you give them a raise and you give them the best equipment you can, and they take care of them, because I should be that, and that's all we care for. Just a little extra on the pay and the best equipment we can get for what we can afford. You know what I mean? So
you were in there for 15 years?
no, about 12.
12.
Yeah.
How are you eligible to receive retirement funds at 12?
No, you have to do 20 or 15. Last time I
Oh.
checked, you have to do 15 or 20. I don't know if that's 15 is early retirement. So
what'd you do after the army?
nothing, man. I got out and played video games, smoked weed, and just lived my best life. Happy. I just wanted to, I got out, man. It was just trying to reintegrate, and I didn't even like going outside. People are like, you want to go outside? I'm like,
Were how many years? Were you over there for years or just months tours?
No,
Or how did that work?
I went there for a year tours, a year and a half tours.
Damn.
So it's like you go there for a year, come back, kind of download everything you just went through, and then start training again. And then you have to do it again and be ready. You're like, oh man, guess what? We're going back. I'm like, oh my god, I have to deal with that stress again. And some people can't take it. Some people lose it, and they'll do anything to get out of it. Like I'm
known people, yeah.
Like I'm getting out this. You know what I mean? Like I'll say I'm
chop your foot off.
whatever, man. Whatever the case, I've seen people just take off and never come back. Like just drop everything in their rooms, staring. Like we have to clean out the dude's room because he ain't coming back. We don't know. And then the dude shows up like 6 years later. I've seen dudes do that, man. Like, so I think it affects everybody differently. But you're on contract, so you can't really fight it.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I've had uncles that served, and I've seen them. I see the things that have happened to them, so I know joining the military does have, consequences, if we might call it that, or something, where something of you is going to be left, bring back, an experience.
It changes you. It does.
I've never had the opportunity to serve, but I've had experiences before where it does stick with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and the whole family thing too. Once you have a bond with people, you go through anything with somebody.
How many people were in your group?
Oh man, it depends on the type of role you play in the military. Like for infantry, there's like 60 guys in there in a platoon, and then if they're like cavalry, they tend to be a little bit smaller, so it'd be like 25, because they have to be out there by themselves. So it was always about 20 to 30 guys, and I mean I was with those guys for years, watching like 18-year-old kids, and they get their 21st birthday. You know what I mean, and still serving with you in that unit. And then when you go to recruiting, you kind of just own yourself. You're a salesman, pretty much. You just give you your computer.
Yeah, what made you want to do recruiting? I mean, you had other options or no?
No, well, you know what, man? It's one of those things you have to do. Like once you hit a certain rank, it's to get promoted. They want you to do something outside what you're normally doing in your army. So an army experience. So it'd be like, all right, you could be a recruiter, drill sergeant, airborne instructor, ING inspector, things like that. And it just the army just does its own little roulette. And if you get popped up, you get popped, and you got to go do it. And you do it for a couple of years, you get to stay or you get to go back. So, and I just did it, and it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. If you're good at talking and you're a people person, and you can relate.
Were you good at talking?
Yeah, I was good, man.
Okay.
When they teach you how to do that, man. Like some people are just reserved and don't want to say anything, or they have just a certain way of recruiting. But the best way is just to talk and talk until you stop talking, until they get either sign, they give you your phone number and like get away from me, or you get them in the office and you can pretty much get them to get a career in the military.
Being a recruiter, I used to deliver to places where they did recruiting, and
it's a stressful job, man. It's stressful. Like the people hurt themselves, man. Like suicide. You were talking about earlier. The office I was at, there was a suicide. You went in there and shot himself in front of everybody, and he was like an older captain, the captain of that particular office, and stressed out and shot himself. There was like 3 of them in Houston. It was a big thing in the army. Like you could probably look it up. It was all these people in Houston or USAREC shooting themselves. This is because suicide follows you wherever you go, man. It doesn't stop. And recruiting is such a high stakes thing.
What do you think happened to? Did you see that? Were you familiar with that one chick that they found murdered? The army chick. Was she army?
She was army. Yeah, I was gonna.
Wasn't that in Houston?
That was at Fort Hood.
Fort Hood.
But I don't know the details because I don't.
No, yeah, I'm not asking details.
No. I mean, like all I know is that I saw it on Facebook and I saw it on TV. Yeah, but I don't watch the news, so I found out through Facebook and like other friends that this was going on. I don't watch the news no more. I haven't watched the news in years, man. And yeah, I saw this. It's horrible, and it happens.
How come you don't watch the news anymore?
I just don't believe it.
You're on the right podcast, my friend. Congratulations.
I don't believe I don't believe that bullshit, man. It's just it ain't for everybody, and people like to be sheep. They could be sheep. I'm not a sheep, man.
It's just crazy because I still watch a little bit of it. It's just
it happens, and you see me watch.
And I know people live by it. You know, they got different sources they live by it, and then when you bring them on, and you talk to them. I mean, they have a lot of stuff, but it's at the end, it's like, who are you gonna believe?
Find out yourself, man.
Find out yourself. Yeah. Reading books.
Research yourself. That's the best thing to do. Like there are things on the news that are good, like lottery numbers and the weather maybe. But as far as anything else, you get a one-sided opinion from one-sided sources, I think, for a certain broadcasting network. Feel me?
Broadcasting.
Yeah, like they're there for them only, I think. Like we'll do, and you see, you ever like watch like Superman, and they're going through the stories, and like we won't write that. That's exactly what goes on in there. Like there's certain stories that probably need to be heard, but get cut back because you think no one wants to hear that. No one wants to read about something. I don't know, interesting. I don't know. Like some of the stuff I used to watch on news are just no one cares about, man. Like
yeah, I don't even have cable no more. I keep up with the news. I read the news. I have my routine just because I need to, just.
I used to watch Good Morning America.
Me too. I
used to put it on all the time, and now it's like I don't even want to watch it no more. It's like it used to be like the Channel 2 or Marvin Zindler.
I think the one was Channel 11, Good Morning LA or Good Morning LA or something like that. I used to wake up to watch stuff like that, but it seems like it's one-sided. I would like to see more positivity in it. Or if you're gonna put car accidents or murders, like let's really get
There's
involved.
A lot of negative stuff on there. Kind of, I started watching international news, like the CN or like the Channel 8, the PBS stuff. They have like the international news, like China, or they'll have your European something, and they talk about European issues, like the whole world issues, and I always found that a lot more interesting because they were talking about current things that are going on that affects everybody. And it's just not American politics or American drama or Kardashians or something. I don't know.
Oh, the Kardashians. Oh no,
or something.
Oh yeah, they're canceled. I think this was their last season or something like that.
Yes,
so.
I don't. I also know
But
that.
no, it's garbage they post on TV.
Yeah.
One of my shows I get addicted to, it's called My 1,000-Pound Sisters and My 600-Pound Life.
Yeah.
And those shows, I could get there and just watch them and just, it's horrible. It's so embarrassing, and it's sad at the same time. Like, I get stuck on those sometimes too. Actually, I got to catch up on them. But every once in a while, but I'm on YouTube now. I just type in YouTube videos. There's this guy named Steve Bagley. He's a competitor eater. And, like, I just been watching him knocking down pizzas, dude. Pizzas, big old tacos, burritos. And I just watch him. It's an eating competitor. And now I look at the production, right? Because of my production now. What I look for is I'll even start from his beginning. He does eating competitions every other day. He's traveling the United States. So I would look at his beginning, like where he starts, and he's got his own camera, and he's like, this is Steve. And he has a routine. He does like this, turns his hat around, and then he eats, So I watch him every time. And now, like, I've seen his team grow. People are helping him, and his production's a little bit better.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot better. But just to see the growth and see, that's what I'm interested in. To see the growth, maturity, and just someone that's just grinding.
Yeah.
And I guess the 600-pound life, 600-pound life, I guess they do. Like at the end, they do get the surgery. They do lose weight. But I think in the beginning, they make it look like they're not going to make it. Well, some of them don't.
I used to like watching Intervention.
Oh, yeah. I watch a few of those.
Like, they watching me like, oh, man, that's a real struggle right there, man. Those are real
you want to feel good about yourself watching Intervention.
Those are real problems right there.
Oh, man.
Those are real problems. I know it's like 48 hours, Dateline or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to watch that too. But Solid Love is just so depressing. And if you're already depressed and you're watching shit like that, it's probably not going to help you.
It's probably not. I guess you got to be in a different place, huh?
Like you're already depressed and you're going through something and you're trying to work through it.
I would look at stuff like that when I first got clean off of opiates, and I was going through my transition, and this is probably like the 100th time, right? But this time it's for real. This time it's for real.
It's for real.
I'm gonna do it, and
yeah.
I would watch. What's that one? It's a European movie. Not Money Train, the Running Train, I think.
Like Blind Spotting or something?
Yeah. There you go.
Train Spotting?
Train Spotting, is it?
Is it where like
Spot
the girl
Train?
where the girl dies, her baby dies?
Yeah.
Yeah. They made a part 2.
Yeah, I saw that one too recently.
And
But I was watching that when I was going through it, and it was like I started crying, dude. Like, man, this is real. It's for real.
Yeah, it's real.
That was the most related movie I've ever seen, and I probably watched it too soon because
Yeah.
But now I can watch it and like to remember how I felt when I watched it to watching it now. It's like, damn, man, like
Yeah.
people don't get it, when
It's a real struggle, man.
Yeah.
Like, I started getting high when I was like right after high school, man. Like I used to go to raves. And
oh man.
So like you go to rave, you're over there laughing. Everybody does everything at raves, man. Like here's a plethora of pick what you want, like a virtual, like a candy store. Like I'll just take this, a little bit of that, a little of that. And
I can't do it.
And dip it in that, like. So like I did that before, man, and I saw those guys. I was just like when I was young, so I kind of got out of it right before it got bad. Like because anything you do and you don't do it with moderation, it's gonna get bad. So it's like I got out and I joined the army. I had cold turkey the whole way.
I had a buddy of mine. I've talked about this plenty of times on the podcast. I have a buddy of mine that I grew up with. In junior high, he had took in a drug. I think he was smoking weed, but it was laced with something. But he was never the same after that.
Yeah, then
he was just like in this zone, like he never came out of it, and that's what scared me the most.
Yeah.
He ended up having an enlarged heart, and he passed away. But man, there was times where I'd walk next to him, and I knew him since elementary. I have pictures of him in kindergarten.
Right.
What's up, man? And he'd look at me, and he didn't even know who I was. I'm like,
that's scary.
What's happening, man?
That's scary. Like I see all those synthetic drugs on, like you read about it and look on YouTube, people eating each other and turning into zombies and all that crazy.
Oh, that happens more often than they don't say.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I've never seen anything crazy like that, but I've seen some crazy stuff.
I seen as a
I
UPS driver, we see a lot.
Yeah, I bet y'all guys do, man.
Yeah, I see a lot. It's been happening for a long time, and it's weird. To be able to I can't imagine what cops go through.
Yeah.
To be able to shut it off and then what they're going through right now.
Yeah.
With everything there, I couldn't imagine because what I see.
I know, I have an uncle who's a cop, and he's always telling you you work certain divisions, they only let you go for 6 months, because that's all a human brain could probably take. You know what I mean? Of seeing you work vice for all the child molestations and the murders, and then you have to work whatever the
No, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And
yeah.
I mean, I couldn't take that for 2 months.
I had a place I delivered to on one of my old routes, and there was 2 girls. There was upstairs, but their windows are always open, the blinds. So they would see me, I'd wave, they'd wave, but they're always on the internet. And one day they weren't there, and I asked a lady who was accepting the packages. I said, "What do you guys do here?" She goes, "Oh, we searched the dark web for child prostitution, child trafficking, and they play as girls."
Oh, bait.
Whatever, yeah, bait. And I asked him, "How do I get involved?" They go, "How do I get involved? I want to, I could do, whatever you want." And she goes, "Oh no, you gotta." She says something. You had some type of clearance or work within the government. It was something,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I'll help. I'll search. But I can only imagine them searching the web, what they're looking at,
what they have to go through and talk about with people.
Well, they got to go. Yeah, they got to go through that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That rabbit hole goes deep. Did you ever see that movie 8mm?
When I was a kid, man, they made
With Nicolas Cage.
They made a snuff film, right?
It
was a snuff film. It was
film.
a snuff film. Yeah. I remember that movie. I was young, man. I don't remember it goes, but I remember they found something where it was about child pornography, wasn't it?
No, they killed her. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was child pornography, or they killed her, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching it when I was.
I can't believe they released that back in the days.
Remember, there was another one with Robin Williams when he played a crazy photograph guy that.
Oh, that's right. He liked to take pictures.
Yeah. Remember that?
I think he never came back for that one. Maybe, I don't know. I think I remember what you're talking about.
Photo hut or something, photo booth or something.
Oh, that's right. Was it Photo Hut?
A photo booth, photo hut. I don't remember. I remember watching it. I was like, that's another crazy film. Yeah, I better go. I mean, to go through all that stuff is anybody could probably break. I wouldn't want to be that guy. That's why I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that type of job or be involved in it, because it mentally probably straining.
Mm-hmm.
And I already have PTSD, so I don't need any more.
I
don't need more nightmares.
I tried to become a cop, and they do polygraphs, and my polygraph, it came back. They said that at this time I was 21. I haven't experimented. I was raised a Christian. Didn't do anything, and I might have smoked weed a few times, and drink beers at a underage, but the questions they ask you: have you ever had sex in the park? Have you ever done heroin, coke? And those were all. Everything was no. But they didn't pass me, and I said, "Why?" They said, "Well, in your questions, you're decisive." And that was the first time I was like, "That thing lied." I go, I gave you, but I have a person that I knew at the same time. We applied for the same place. This dude was drugs,
if you got
sex in the public. Have you ever had sex in a public place? Everything was yes. He got hired. He's probably high up there now.
Yeah.
And someone like me who was,
maybe he didn't have enough life experience. I don't know.
Maybe.
All I know is I don't trust that thing, because it's didn't the guy that wrote the comic book for Wonder Woman invent that thing? I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was invented by the guy who wrote the comic book. That's why it's not even.
I'm gonna look that up. That's a good one.
Yeah, somebody told me that. I'm like, really? I was like, well, it does make sense. It's not even proven science.
Did you guys watch the movie I sent you, The Hunted 411? Oh, you didn't watch it?
No.
I didn't send it.
Oh, it would have been good to talk about.
What's it about?
It's about these hunters that go missing out in the woods, and sometimes they'll find bodies 60 miles away. I mean, this the things that they talk about. Just they're hunters that are disappearing in the mountains.
That's why I don't go hunting. That's why I'll fish. That's about it, man.
Yeah, they go out in there. They hike in for 5 days. You're in the middle of nowhere. Of course, you're probably gonna see shit.
I have friends that do that. You know what I mean? I have friends, but I wouldn't. I don't know, man. I'd rather just be safe away from animals that can kill you.
Oh, there was these were. They're saying that it was supernatural how they were disappearing. It wasn't animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Aliens.
it was supernatural. Yeah,
Aliens, like on Alien and was it that comes on History Channel? Alien Artifacts or Alien
yeah.
Ancient
Ancient Aliens with Action Bronson.
Yeah, and it has
Did you ever see that one?
It has that guy. He goes, "It's aliens." He has a weird hair that flies
Oh
up.
yeah, his hair Papadopoulos
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
like it's aliens.
Oh, dude, his hair is wild.
Yeah, he has that crazy hair.
Did you hear about that new COVID thing that just passed? It was they sneak in a bunch of different laws, and one of them was the CIA had to release all the records of what's going on with aliens or the extraterrestrial, and they had 6 months to do it.
I don't know.
There's been a dump. They dumped everything supposedly. Someone sent me the website, but it's a lot of files,
Yeah.
and you got to go through. I mean, you're talking about millions of files, and I'm like,
And
have fun.
They're all redacted and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that. I used to I used to jump a little rabbit holes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I was on Gaia for a little while.
Gaia?
Gaia TV.
Where's that? I never heard of that one.
It's all supernatural, ancient alien type stuff,
Really?
metaphysics.
They're cutting a lot of things off. I mean, they're cutting a lot of
It
people
goes
on YouTube.
It goes into like the disclosure. Like if you look up YouTube, you'll probably find a Gaia on there. Like they're just like a network. They have everything from like health and yoga to like, disclosure stuff. Like people being like fighting a war in Mars or some shit.
Space wars.
Yeah, everything. Like it just goes like.
Oh, he's going past everything.
Yeah, I'm talking
else.
about they're going past. The dude's like, I have a wife. She's an alien. I was in the army. Top secret.
Oh, like coast to coast type stuff.
Yeah, like it's just crazy stuff, man. You have to pay for it.
You got to give me the information. I want to look it up. That's be cool.
Yeah, guide.com. So you have to pay for like a subscription.
Really?
Yeah. It just go Gaia.com.
How you spell Gaia? G-U-A?
Man, you're asking the wrong person to spell, man.
I don't know. I forget.
I'll look it up later. I don't know. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about this QAnon shit, dude?
What is that?
You never heard of the QAnon? The QAnon movement?
No, what is that?
Really? Dude, it's
I don't
No, I know.
I don't follow things.
That's good.
I don't follow things just for
Okay.
the fact that I don't want to be caught up in the hype anymore.
Yeah,
man.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like
You probably don't want to know about it then.
well, I mean, I want to know now.
Okay, okay, so do you know who our president was?
Yeah.
Okay, Donald Trump, right? He was running for re-election.
Yeah.
They had this thing called QAnon. QAnon. I call them the Q-tards. But they came up with like everything that President Trump was saying. Everything was deciphered and secret codes, and we were going to drain the swamp of child molestation, child trafficking, just corrupt politicians that are ruining our society today by, the way they treated how COVID happened. I mean, it's just a big conspiracy, right? It started, I think, like 2010 or 12, maybe.
Oh, like with all the major celebrities being like
drinking the blood of children.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Then I do know about it. I don't want to talk about that stuff. Man. That stuff is too much for me, man.
But anyways, they started a long time ago, and they based it back to. Okay, so they caused a riot at the Capitol, right? It was a big.
So that was them. That was them.
They called the QAnons. They were believing like some miracle was gonna happen,
and Trump was gonna get back.
Trump was gonna get back.
So
he was gonna do a coup and all this weird shit. And one person died, or no, 2 people or 3. I know the cop got killed to death with an umbrella, and they had the video of them just stabbing him in the face. And then one of the girls, she was trying to break into the Capitol where they have the meetings, and the cop shot her in the neck because she bled out and died. But a lot of the blame, and then they try to blame like another militia crew such as the Proud Boys. Or they're trying to blame Black Lives Matter or Antifa. All these everyone's pointing fingers. But this QAnon thing, they had this guy. He calls himself the shaman, and he walked in. I'll show you a picture after. He's got his helmet, his face painted, his shirt's off. He was like, "I'm the shaman."
Isn't he from like Arizona or something?
Yeah, he is from Arizona. Matter of fact.
Yeah, I did see that, but I didn't know it was called a QAnon like revolution. Or
yeah, it's
or
probably
something.
like a revolution.
Or revolution. I didn't know that, but yeah, I get on YouTube sometimes and I fall down a rabbit hole where I just like I have to unsubscribe from you because that's too much for my little brain can take anymore, man. But yeah, I did see that on when they stormed the Capitol, which is just dumb, man. Come on, let's act like humans. Let's act like some civilized people here. We're acting like every other third world country. You know, there's things that go on in this world that we can't control sometimes because we just don't have the resources to control it. But as far as acting like, you know, Americans and showing the world that we are better than what we always stereotype to be, yeah, I think that's just crazy. Storming the Capitol, you're just losing your mind. You know what I mean? Come on, let's act like some. You know, there's no need for all that. People getting hurt, like the Black Lives Matters and people rioting. That's
some of these people think we're gonna have a
Some type of
1976 Civil War,
like revolution type thing. You know,
we're not gonna play like that no more.
It's not gonna happen no more.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen no more. We gotta beat them within the court system.
Everybody done
we
it
gotta
in
beat them
office.
with social media. How they're using the tools to affect our children, we can use the same tools and you know counter. This podcast, we're truthful. We tell the truth here. We want to help each other, and we want to learn from each other because you're right. Shut off the TV. Take it down from your mantle. Tuck it away in the closet. Go with your family. Go to Barnes and Nobles and buy some books on history.
Yeah, they call it TV programming for a reason.
Yeah.
It's getting programmed.
Yeah, I don't have cable at my house. I have YouTube TV, and I rarely use that. I'm usually on YouTube. You know, I go down a rabbit hole, like I said, a competitor eater. You know, this guy likes to travel and go eat.
I've been looking up old cars lately, like 1991 Honda Accords. You know,
okay,
old school like Acura Legends and Vigors. Remember those things?
Yeah,
and I'll be looking up on YouTube and watching these guys their whole little production.
Dude, everything's on YouTube now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I watch them. Man, those cars are cool, man. Or like when people do like comedy bits and they just do that in front of a camera. I think it's pretty funny.
Well, you told me a little bit you're into farming.
I was, man. I farmed cotton.
Really?
Woo.
How long did you do that?
About a year. It takes a lot of man hours to go in a pair of socks. There's a lot of
people take it for granted.
People do take it for granted. Even I did. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When I went there, I was like, this is a lot of hard work just to make some cotton for some people, to make a pair of shirts or underwear or whatever you want to call whatever they make out of it. You know, it's a lot of man hours. A lot of back breaking goes into it.
I've seen videos where they have the silkworms. And they're extracting the silk from literally the worm, and then they
process it.
Yeah, like the whole process of the machines, and I'm like, just for that?
Yeah. It goes to top, man. Like we did like a couple. It's about as big as an 18-wheeler. The trailer part. All right, and they'll make that. And they'll stuff cotton in that thing. They'll keep dumping loads of cotton, and you have a packer. And it just keeps slamming the cotton until it's like really, you can't even stick your fist through it. You have to punch it with a rod, you know, just to get the string to tie it down. It's just a lot of unrefined cotton with big old seeds in it and like leaves and all that stuff. And then it goes to a processing gin. And I learned all that stuff being there. And I thought it was cool, man. But it's a lot of man hours, man. And they got small farmers, you know, trying to make ends meet doing that. And you got these large farmers with these big old pieces of equipment that are all automated. You're out there on a real tractor driving, you know what I'm saying, trying to do that, you know, trying to make it get a straight line so you can make, you know, the rows correctly or whatnot. So it was pretty cool, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was fun.
I've always wanted to be a farmer. I want to move out of here and just go and make sure I got my own well.
Yeah.
And just farm.
Yeah, a lot of people
just
say
farm
that.
And get off. I'm tired of it.
Being on the grid.
Oh, dude,
jump off the grid.
We make family. We love to go camping.
Yeah.
We just came back from Zion National Park, and it was the most beautiful experience ever. Hiking through the Narrows and stuff like that. If you guys ever get a chance, I don't know if you've ever been there, just go. It's beautiful over there.
Yeah, this farm had a river, so it was like perfect. It had a river
like
in the back.
Little House on the Prairie, huh?
It had a river in the back that shared with other farmers, and there was catfish in there and like bass, I think. And yeah, there was like coyotes and a bear, I guess, back there too.
Yeah, I got a few years left until I could retire, and the money that I get, man, if I could afford to live in the country, I don't mind. You know, my lady says, you're not waking up at 3 a.m. I go, you don't know. We never tried it. You know, waking up at 3 a.m. and doing
what do you want? You want animals, or you just want to farm?
I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, you want like chickens you have to deal
with?
with?
Yeah, chickens.
Like pigs and stuff like that. Like these people had like legitimate pig business.
My lady's mom, she grew up on the farm where they slaughtered the cows right there.
Yeah, like these people had like a pig pins, man. Like with the feeders, with the little stacks and all that, to have all the grain in it. They had it all set up, man. And
Yeah, people need to understand where our food comes from, dude. It's
people have to grow
yeah.
it for
Imagine
us.
if you had to catch your own food and slaughter it.
Like
Grab a chicken.
I couldn't even eat the beef there, man, because I would feed these cows and then like have to put them in the trailer to go get slaughtered. The dude like looking at you and you're making eye contact with this cow. You know, it's like
He knows, huh?
yeah, he's like he looks like he's
"Hey,
crying.
dog, where
like,
am I going?
Yeah, he's like look, he doesn't want to get in there, and you have to try to just keep forcing him back in there. It's horrible, man. I didn't want none of the meat. I was like, I don't want that meat. I don't want to eat Stevie.
He was like, "Hey, dog, we're gonna bring you a big steak.
They asked
You
me
want tomahawk."
They're like, hey, you want some beef from? Call him Stevie Wonder because he was blind. You want some beef from Stevie? I'm like, I don't want to eat that. I fed that cow for a year. I feel horrible having to eat him.
He might have been. Who knows? It might have been honorable.
I don't know. I just
know?
felt bad, man. But there's no way you're gonna survive if you can't get past the killing a cow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got a pork shoulder in there that I'm gonna go smoke later for the Super Bowl tomorrow, and dude, I think it's the biggest one I ever got. It's almost 15 pounds.
Right.
And I go, man, I think it's an hour every pound if I'm not mistaken. So I got to go home and marinate it. And it was a big one, you know. It was a big. I'm like, dang, dude, how big was this animal?
Yeah, I seen them. They got like hogs out there too, man. Little feral hogs that run around there. Yeah, the little farm was pretty cool, man.
What made you want to get into farming?
Yeah, it was just a friend.
Friend offered you a job.
Yeah, I was a friend in the army. He was like, hey man, I don't want to be in Houston no more. I need to go somewhere different. I need to see something totally different. And I got out there and it was paradise. Real relaxing.
Peaceful.
You ain't got to work.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going somewhere. I'm thinking about buying something now and just renting it out or doing something. Just getting off the grid, dude.
It's very peaceful.
You know, my lady, she's really good with the tools, you know,
and where we stayed was like 15 miles away from the town. So you're away from the town, you know. And,
but if something happens, man, if you're, your old ticker,
yeah,
you know,
like
good luck with that one.
I was talking to the guy that owned the place, and he had all his kids there on the farm because it was like there's no point to go to the hospital. They had him in like the front living room in a baby bath thing, you know. So yeah, I don't know, like people
like COVID and stuff like that. That stuff doesn't exist out there, huh?
It does actually, but living on the farm, man, like I didn't go nowhere. I had no reason to go anywhere. The only time I went was to get food. And that was it.
Yeah, I'm a stargazer, bro. How are the stars out there?
You can see everything, man. You can see the Milky Way. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, because wherever you're at, you got different escapes from the sky.
Well, where I was at, there was a mountain out there, and they had an observatory. So the city wasn't allowed to have white light. They only allowed to have amber.
Nice.
So all the street lights were amber lights. All the outside lights were amber. So it keeps the light down so the observatory can see the stars. So it was super pitch black out there, man.
That's cool.
It was pretty cool. And very scary also when you go outside and you're like, all you hear is the cows rustling around. You hear, and it's pitch black outside. I'm like, I'm not going outside.
Oh, it's like superior,
like pitch black, man.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know if there's chupacabras out there. Who knows, man?
Wow. So it's like your eyes don't adjust to the moonlight or anything?
If there's no moonlight that night.
Well, I don't think I've ever experienced that.
You ever see that where there's no moonlight?
Out there in the woods, yeah, I guess. But you have a flashlight.
Yeah, true. But it was just pitch black out there. It was pretty cool. I liked it.
So what plans you got? What do you got going on?
Well, we're going back to Arizona.
Arizona?
Yeah. Got to get a job somewhere.
Okay. That's cool, man. Yeah, Arizona's nice, man. The air's fresh.
This is desert.
Know, it's definitely I like going over there and just seeing like there's nothing out there. It's still undeveloped.
It's a desert.
Yeah.
It's the desert. It's hot. It's hot, so I'm not.
How hot was it compared to Houston?
The same. And yeah, I've been overseas, so it's really hot, but
Oh yeah, how was it overseas?
about 150.
150?
Yeah.
And then you have all your equipment on, you're in a big old tank.
Whatever you could be walking, man. You got all that junk all of you, or you're in a vehicle and it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. You learn it, but it's a dry heat though. It's not humidity, so it's just like a stank heat on you all the time.
And that's how people live over there, huh?
That's how they live, but they wear skirts over there, so it's different. You know, they wear the man dress, so most of the time they layer up, so they don't have to have that hot sun beating down on you. Everybody sleeps outside, like on their ceilings. So every person out there, if they don't have AC in their house, if they're usually below the poverty line, everybody sleeps on top they'll take a big old blanket or like a sheet and dip it in cold water,
Mm.
then throw it over themselves, and sleep because it's so hot at night.
Dang.
Yeah, because all that concrete releases all that heat of being soaked up all day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just even hotter. Like it's just so horrible to go to sleep at night outside.
I wonder if it's always been like that, or it has to do with global warming.
I think that country has always been hot, man.
Probably.
That country's like you're like looking at like you see like a mirage in like movies. Like
Mhm.
it's like looks like water. Usually it's like melted glass, because there has natural occurring glass out there. It gets so hot that sand gets so hot and melts, and you can take like a big old sheet as big as this table.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm talking they're huge sheets of just natural glass being melted by the sun.
Wow.
Like, is that a mirage? No, man, it's just glass reflecting.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Melted glass. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
And when I got to Arizona, man, it was kind of warm. It was getting to that 100, 110, 109, 102, and it's like, ugh, why am I here?
You gonna have AC either, huh?
Overseas, over the time that people gone over there, because we've been over there for like 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
they started getting ACs, and like the vehicles are, and they didn't have no AC, so you're just sucking, man. Hot as hell, man.
Oof.
It doesn't get easier. I can tell you that. Going back over and that heat will never, you can never get used to no 150-degree weather. So coming out to California is pretty nice.
Yeah. How you enjoying your stay?
It's nice. I like.
Is your first time out here?
It's my third time.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty nice. I like the beach and all
Yeah,
that.
everyone's moving to Texas, Arizona, and I said, man, I really want to go too, man. With the weather,
Yeah.
you can't beat it. I mean, we get hot for what, 2 months out of the year, and we bitch about it. Oh, it's gonna be 110 today. You're inside with your AC blaring.
Yeah, like I
Well-
kept telling, I was like, going out. I like the sweater thing. Like you go out there, it's nice and cool. I can wear a sweater. I don't have to wear a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Over there, it's always tank tops on.
Yeah, it's just like you're hot. Go outside and like 4 o'clock in the morning, so it won't be so hot. And get to work. So
Well, man, let's just cut it. Let's cut it out, man. We are at a little over an hour.
no,
It was an honor to get you on the
it
show.
was cool, man. It was fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this again. One thing I was gonna do was travel out there because I got someone out there that lives there, and I want to get him on the podcast too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a little city tour and get you back on again. And I got a buddy of mine that I'm gonna get. So soon I want to touch base again. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the podcast and giving us a story. And I mean, we got a lot in common, man.
Yeah, of course.
We definitely got a lot of common, and I'm happy that you came on the show. And a lot of the stuff we talk about, I try to make it, just relax. I've gotten real detail of my past, and it was great to meet someone. We talked earlier before the show what we've been through, and I'm glad you guys came on the show.
It was fun. It was a cool experience, man.
Yeah, man. You can say your outro.
I've never been around the lights.
All the lights.
The lights.
Oh, we just
Hollywood, finally. Hollywood, I've made it.
we try to give our best, on the production.
Got
we
my
deal with.
5 minutes of fame.
No, you're good. No, you're good, man. Do you want anybody? You want to leave anything? Instagram, IG?
No, man, I barely.
No.
You see, I don't even watch TV, man. Come on.
Well, once again, man, Jerry, I want to appreciate you
Hey.
coming on the show.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I want to say what's up to my listeners from around the world. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 66. And I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know who's going to win. I know you guys don't probably watch sports either. So, KC. So, Kansas City.
Yeah, why not?
He's saying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know. I just got square. So, once again, I love you guys. I'll see you next week. I got a special guest coming in. Once again, I love you guys. I'll see you. Peace.